Ashe, and welcome to another special episode of our Mandatory Mental Liberation Message series, written and produced by our esteemed elder Baba Jelani Bumani Dembe, the brilliant founder of Majestic Mind Matters University. I'm your royal narrator, Queen Magical Melanin, for this new episode. The necessity of the Mandatory Mental Liberation series at Majestic Mind Matters University lies in our focus on serving our melanin-rich culture nation. By addressing the importance of knowledge of self to produce greater self-awareness and advocating for our mental liberation, especially for our precious melanin-rich culture children, our messages aim to combat the enduring effects of generational mental enslavement stemming from the historical trauma of the chattel enslavement of the ancestors. Our initiative seeks to empower us to break free from these harmful and unfavorable legacies and cultivate a deep-rooted sense of self-identity and unwavering resilience. In a world where words carry weight, these terms hold a history of oppression and discrimination. Our melanin-rich culture nation has not given up on the fight for liberation. We know that terms like Black or brown people, people of color, perpetuate stereotypes and homogenize our melanin-rich culture people. In this message, it will only be used to maintain clarity for those who are not yet up to our melanin-rich culture standards. By embracing indigenous terms like Alkebulan, this name means mother of mankind, in various African languages such as Akuyu, Swahili, and Kemet, referring to ancient Egypt, and rejecting the terms Africa or African, these oppressive terms, which are unknown to many, we are reclaiming our melanin-rich culture narratives and asserting our royal cultural pride. Our melanin-rich culture nation uses terms like chattel enslavement instead of slavery, and the enslavers or slavers rather than masters or slave owners, to highlight the brutal and dehumanizing nature of historical and systemic oppression. The term chattel enslavement emphasizes the objectification of the ancestors as property, rather than acknowledging them as humans. Referring to the oppressors as the enslavers or slavers instead of masters or slave owners shifts the focus to the injustice and violence perpetrated by those in power. These terms accurately reflect the systemic exploitation and inhumanity faced by our melanin-rich culture communities throughout history, challenging traditional narratives that downplay the severity of these atrocities. Knowing the power of language in shaping global societal perceptions and challenging systemic racism is our first step to true liberation. In this message, the term African American or Black may be used in order to convey understanding regarding the mindset of that time period. Many of our messages will shed light on our melanin-rich culture civilization individuals who have helped gain more ground towards our global unity. Now, let's get started with this very special melanin-rich culture message titled Book Overview, Black Bourgeoisie by E. Franklin Frazier. As members of the melanin-rich culture civilization, delving into the pages of Black Bourgeoisie by E. Franklin Frazier provides us with a unique perspective on the intricacies of race, class, and culture within the African American community. Published in 1957, this seminal work serves as a critical examination of the Black middle class in America, shedding light on the historical and sociological factors that have shaped this influential group. From our joint efforts to unify globally, we recognize the importance of understanding the complexities of the Black bourgeoisie. Frazier's analysis explores the aspirations, challenges, and contradictions facing this segment of the population, offering valuable insights into the dynamics of race and class in American society. Through his nuanced examination, we are able to gain a deeper understanding of the experiences and struggles of the Black middle class as they navigate issues of identity, status, and social mobility. One of the key themes that Frazier explores in Black Bourgeoisie is the concept of the Black bourgeoisie paradox. This paradox refers to the tension that exists between the desire of Black middle-class individuals to attain social and economic success, while also grappling with the realities of racism and discrimination in American society. This struggle is one that we, as members of the African American community, can relate to on a personal level. We understand the challenges of trying to succeed in a society that often seeks to hold us back based on the color of our skin. Frazier's examination of the Black bourgeoisie also touches on issues of cultural identity and assimilation. He highlights the ways in which members of this group are often caught between two worlds, that of their African American heritage and that of mainstream American culture. This duality can create a sense of alienation and isolation, as individuals struggle to maintain their cultural roots while also striving to integrate into dominant society. Through our shared experiences, we understand the complexities of navigating these competing identities and the impact it can have on our sense of self. Additionally, Frazier's work sheds light on the ways in which the Black bourgeoisie have historically played a role in shaping African American culture and politics. As members of this influential group, we have a responsibility to use our status and resources to uplift our community and fight for social justice. Frazier's analysis serves as a reminder of the importance of using our privilege to advocate for those who may not have the same opportunities and resources. In our efforts to unify globally, the lessons and insights provided by Black bourgeoisie are invaluable. Frazier's work challenges us to critically examine the complexities of race, class, and culture within our community and to work towards creating a more equitable and just society for all. By understanding the dynamics of the Black bourgeoisie and the challenges they face, we can better advocate for positive change and strive towards a more unified and inclusive world. Black Bourgeoisie by E. Franklin Frazier is a timeless and thought-provoking work that continues to be relevant in our joint efforts to unify globally. Through Frazier's critical examination of the Black middle class in America, we are able to gain valuable insights into the complexities of race, class, and culture within the African American community. As members of the melanin-rich culture civilization, we must continue to engage with this seminal work and use its lessons to guide us in our pursuit of social justice and equality for us as well. In our joint efforts to unify globally as a melanin-rich culture civilization, we must acknowledge and critically engage with the ideas presented in E. Franklin Frazier's Black Bourgeoisie. This groundbreaking work challenges conventional understandings of race, class, and culture within the African American community by shedding light on the complexities and contradictions within the Black middle class. Frazier's analysis of the Black bourgeoisie highlights the ways in which this segment of the population has adopted the values and cultural norms of white society in order to gain social acceptance and economic success. This assimilation has created a divide between the Black middle class and the larger Black community, as they prioritize material wealth and social status over the well-being of their fellow African Americans. By aligning themselves with white culture, the Black bourgeoisie has distanced themselves from their own heritage and identity, perpetuating a cycle of assimilation and disconnection. One of the key critiques Frazier offers is the ways in which the Black bourgeoisie perpetuates class divisions within the Black community. In their pursuit of maintaining social status and success, they often overlook the struggles of those less fortunate within their own community. This focus on individual achievement comes at the expense of advocating for social justice and equality on a broader scale. Instead of using their position of privilege to uplift the entire African American community, the Black bourgeoisie tends to prioritize their own interests, further widening the gap between different socioeconomic groups within the Black population. Frazier's analysis challenges us to re-examine the values and priorities of the African American community, urging us to confront the ways in which assimilation and individual success may be hindering our collective progress. By exposing the complexities and contradictions within the Black middle class, Frazier forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about our own community and the ways in which we may be complicit in perpetuating inequality. As we strive for global unity among melanin-rich cultures, it is crucial that we engage with Frazier's work and critically reflect on the implications it has for our own communities. By acknowledging the ways in which the Black bourgeoisie has aligned themselves with white culture at the expense of their own heritage, we can begin to challenge the systems of oppression that have long divided us. In order to truly unify globally, we must address the internal divisions within our own communities and work towards a collective liberation that uplifts all members of our population. Frazier's Black Bourgeoisie serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of solidarity and collective action in the fight against systemic racism and inequality. By embracing our shared heritage and rejecting the values of assimilation and individual success, we can begin to dismantle the barriers that have long divided us. It is only through a deep examination of our priorities and values that we can truly achieve global unity and liberation for all melanin-rich cultures. As members of a melanin-rich culture civilization, we understand the struggle and challenges faced by the Black bourgeoisie in our society. In his book, Frazier delves into the complex dynamics of assimilation into white society and the impact it has on the social acceptance and economic success of the Black middle class. We, as a collective, have experienced firsthand the pressures to conform to white norms in order to gain acceptance and access to opportunities in a society that is inherently racist and discriminatory towards non-white individuals. The history of assimilation for Black professionals, particularly in the early to mid-20th century, is marked by the struggle to fit into a predominantly white-dominated professional world. Many Black individuals felt the pressure to adopt white cultural practices, values, and lifestyle choices in order to succeed and advance in their careers. This pressure to conform to white norms was not just about fitting in socially, but also about survival and economic success in a society structured to benefit white individuals. Frazier highlights the strategic nature of assimilation for the Black bourgeoisie, pointing out that those who are able to successfully assimilate into white society are more likely to be accepted by their white counterparts and have greater opportunities for advancement in their careers. This assimilation can lead to building networks and connections with white individuals in positions of power and influence, which in turn opens up doors for lucrative business opportunities and career advancement. However, the cost of assimilation is high. It often requires Black individuals to erase aspects of their culture and identity in order to conform to white standards of acceptability. This erasure of Blackness in favor of whiteness can lead to a loss of self and a disconnect from one's roots and community. As a melanin-rich culture civilization, we understand the importance of preserving and celebrating our heritage and culture. The pressure to assimilate into white society also perpetuates a cycle of internalized racism and self-hatred within the Black community. It reinforces the idea that success and acceptance can only be achieved by conforming to white standards, further alienating individuals from their own identity and community. This internalized racism undermines our collective strength and unity as a melanin-rich culture civilization. Despite the challenges of assimilation, Frazier's analysis sheds light on the realities faced by the Black bourgeoisie in a society that privileges whiteness. We recognize the strategic nature of assimilation as a means of survival and advancement in a system that is inherently biased against us. However, we also recognize the importance of resisting assimilation and reclaiming our identity and culture as a source of strength and resilience. In our joint efforts to unify globally, we must strive to create spaces that celebrate and uplift our melanin-rich culture civilization. We must challenge the systems of oppression that uphold white supremacy and work towards creating a more inclusive and equitable society for all. By embracing our identity and culture, we can build a more vibrant and empowered community that values diversity and celebrates the richness of our heritage. Together, we can forge a path towards social acceptance and economic success on our own terms, without having to sacrifice our identity in order to fit into a society that seeks to diminish our greatness. As members of our melanin-rich culture civilization, we have faced countless challenges throughout history. In the early to mid-20th century, Black professionals were particularly affected by the pressure to assimilate into white society. Discrimination and prejudice were rampant in workplaces and communities, and Black professionals were often forced to conform to white cultural norms in order to succeed. The expectations placed on Black professionals to assimilate were not only unfair but oppressive. They were expected to suppress their own cultural identities and adopt the ways of the dominant white society simply to be accepted. This erasure of their Blackness created a constant internal struggle for many professionals as they grappled with the dilemma of sacrificing their true selves for the sake of their careers. In addition to facing discrimination and prejudice, Black professionals also encountered limited opportunities for advancement in their fields. They were often denied access to leadership positions within their organizations, despite their qualifications and capabilities. This lack of upward mobility perpetuated a cycle of exclusion and inequality that made it difficult for Black professionals to achieve the same level of success as their white counterparts. Furthermore, Black professionals were segregated within professional organizations, further isolating them from valuable networking and mentorship opportunities. Without the guidance and support of seasoned professionals in their fields, Black professionals were left to navigate the complexities of their careers on their own. This lack of mentorship and access to resources hindered their ability to excel and make meaningful contributions to their professions. Despite these myriad challenges, Black professionals persevered and made significant strides in their respective fields. They refused to be silenced by discrimination and instead used their voices to speak out against injustice and demand equality. Through their resilience and determination, Black professionals paved the way for future generations to succeed in a predominantly white society. The contributions of Black professionals have been instrumental in advancing diversity and inclusion within various industries. By breaking down barriers and challenging the status quo, they've opened doors for individuals of all backgrounds to pursue their dreams and achieve success. The impact of their efforts continues to be felt today, as more and more Black professionals shatter stereotypes and achieve recognition for their talents and accomplishments. As members of our melanin-rich culture civilization, we stand in solidarity with Black professionals who have faced discrimination and prejudice in their careers. We recognize the sacrifices they have made and the obstacles they have overcome to blaze a trail for future generations. We are committed to honoring their legacy by continuing to fight for equality and inclusion in all aspects of society. In conclusion, the pressure to assimilate into white society in the early to mid-20th century had a profound impact on Black professionals. Despite facing discrimination, prejudice, and limited opportunities for advancement, Black professionals persevered and made lasting contributions to their fields. Their resilience and determination have paved the way for future generations to succeed in a world that is still grappling with issues of diversity and inclusion. As members of our melanin-rich culture civilization, we must continue to stand together and work towards a more equitable and just society for all. I'm your royal narrator, Queen Magical Melanin. We trust that this very special message has expanded your understanding through the insights shared by our highly esteemed producer, Elder Baba Jelani Bumani Dembe, founder of Majestic Mind Matters University, in our Mandatory Mental Liberation Series special message. Remember this, it is essential to honor the ancestors. We have a unique connection to the ancestors. They endured many unwarranted struggles, preserved our melanin-rich culture, and passed down invaluable wisdom through many generations. By honoring the ancestors, we pay honorable tribute to our roots and draw great strength and much-needed inspiration from the unwavering resilience and royal legacy that has paved the way for our present and future generations. Ancestral reverence is a powerful way for us to continually uphold our own melanin-rich identity, heritage, and cultural legacy. Here is an ancient Alkebulan proverb to keep in mind. If you think you are too small to make a difference, you have not spent the night with a mosquito. Remember this as well, whenever you are in the presence of anyone, saying, "They don't see color," it actually means, "They don't see you." We acknowledge and honor the indigenous name of our glorious continent as Alkebulan. This name means Mother of Mankind in various African languages such as Akuyu, Swahili, and Kemet, referring to ancient Egypt and rejecting the terms Africa or African. As royal members of our melanin-rich culture nation, we must strive for knowledge of self for greater personal awareness. Always treat yourself kindly and seek to live a totally awesome and gloriously fulfilling melanin-rich culture life. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. So, like, subscribe to stay updated, and share this very special melanin-rich culture link with everyone that you care about and that really cares about you and all of yours as well. And thank you for listening to this enchanting special message titled Book Overview, Black Bourgeoisie by E. Franklin Frazier. Stay woke. Ashe.